Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining our What to Know as a First-Time Exhibitor webinar for the IBIE show in September. We're just going to sit tight just for a few minutes. I'm going to start about 2 minutes past the hour. I want to give people time to get in and log in so they're not missing any of the information. So stay with us, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome to IBIE's webinar, What to Know as a First-Time Exhibitor. Who is this webinar for? It's for our first-timers, someone who's exhibited before but looking for a refresher, someone that is new to the industry, and even our marketing team members. My name is Alyssa Stubbs, and I am IBIE's Senior Exhibit Coordinator, and today I have Emma Barrington and Virginia Gagan here with me. This is the 7th webinar in our exhibitor education series designed to help you be successful at IBIE. All 8 of the webinars will be recorded and posted to bakingexpo.com so that you can reference them at any time. Before we get started, please take a moment to familiarize yourself with GoToWebinar's dashboard. On this slide, it shows a list of the available widgets to you. I would like to remind everyone that all attendees are muted, and if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to type them into the question box on your screen. Any troubleshooting comments can be shared in the chat widget, and someone from IBIE team will get back to you. This webinar will be recorded and posted on bakingexpo.com under Exhibitors and then Resources and Webinars. Up next, we'll be hearing from Virginia. Kick it off.
Thanks, Alyssa. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We know you have a busy schedule, so we appreciate you jumping on and listening to our webinar today. This is a packed-filled, informative information for you all if you have never attended the IBIE show. So sit back, get ready, and enjoy the ride with us. So today we're going to talk about, we're going to show a map of the Las Vegas Convention Center. So if you've never been there before, we'll go over what halls we're in. We'll talk about the booth packages that is provided to our exhibitors. We'll also go into the Exhibitor Resource Center, which is your go-to destination for all information. We'll go over some of miscellaneous items. We'll talk about tips for new exhibitors, and then obviously we'll go over some question and answers for you. But just as a reminder for everybody, the IBIE show is September 13th through the 17th with the exhibit hall September 14th through the 17th. And the hours for the exhibit hall for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then a full day of education on Saturday, September 13th. Sorry, Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday from 10 to 5 each day, and on Wednesday from 10 to 3. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at some maps. This is the Las Vegas Convention Center. As we mentioned, we're going to be in the West and North Hall, as I've highlighted and circled here in the red box for you. The halls are connected by a sky bridge over Paradise Road. So yes, you can see here it says Paradise Bridge. So this gets you from North to West Hall. Once you walk across the sky bridge, you'll find yourself on the 2nd floor of the North Hall. Attendees will proceed down a set of escalators and or elevators and will access the North Hall from one of 3 entrances. So if you're in the North Hall, your taxi drop-off will be right here under this plus sign. And then the Uber/Lyft pickups, ride shares will be here where that number 1 and that silver lot is. And then in the West Hall, we have the taxi drop off right here in this white area, kind of diagonal from the handicap parking right here. And then the Uber lift is right above the black line here. Here currently is the North Hall, and I just wanted to highlight a few things on here that are IBIE specific and some of our show management booths. So the red lines on the show floor represent a 20-foot no cross aisle, and then the green lines are low ceiling restrictions and hanging sign restrictions. The yellow highlighted booths that you see at the back of the hall and around the perimeter, these are what we call a first in and last out. This means that during move in, your booth will be one of the last booths to be set up by Freeman because the booth is so close to the freight doors. Same for your move out. Exhibitors in these booths will need to pack up first to allow Freeman access to the move in and move out freight doors. New this year, we have our coffee cafe, where exhibitors will come prepared to brew and provide coffee to attendees throughout the show. We also have the Retail Bakers of America booth in the North Hall. We also have our RBA Baker Center. We will have 4 stages: cake, decorating, baking and pastry, presentation, and celebrity stages live. Demonstrations for some of the biggest names in the industry. New this year, we will also have registration in the North Lobby. Excuse me, as you can see right here, this nice big arrow that'll show you where the registration is located. As I mentioned, the taxis, and then also everybody's favorite, Starbucks coffee. We also want to highlight that for everybody so everybody knows where Starbucks is. And then we also have the shuttle buses, which will be down here as well. So let me go into the West Hall. Again, the red lines represent the 20 feet no cross aisles, and the blue lines represent a 10-foot no cross aisle. We have our entrances into the West Hall. As you can see, the 4 entrances here. In the West Hall, new, we have our snack and pet food pavilions. We also have our Wholesale Baker Center. Our Wholesale Baker Center will explore in-depth discussions led by expert speakers covering vital topics such as sustainability, workforce development, operational efficiencies, and much, much more. While we won't have the cannabis pavilion this show cycle, we will have some education included in the Wholesale Baker Center. In the middle of the floor and on the hall here, we have our International Trade Center and Great American Pie Festival and Together. To the right, we have access to the North Hall. Attendees can leave and enter from the Paradise Bridge from the North Hall to enter into the exhibit hall from here. We also have the Artisan Village, which is an interactive, innovative hub offering exceptional learning opportunities and exciting competitions. Escalators to the Sky Bridge to the North Hall. Attendees will go up to level 2, walk across the connector into the North Building. There's also a Dunkin' Donuts coffee in the West Hall food court area. The ABA BIMA booth is in the main West lobby. And then if you're looking for additional details regarding any of the show features, you can visit our website at bakingexpo.com. So why are you exhibiting? I'm sure you know the why, but here is a great slide that will give you an idea of who is going to be at the show. IBIE attracts a broad range of professionals and job functions. Take time to consider which markets your business focus on, where you have the most success, and who you are targeting at the show. Think about how to attract them to your booth and get their attention before the expo, including what magazines they read or social media channels they use. This slide came from one of our webinars that we did, and as Alyssa mentioned, the presentation, it obviously is recorded, and then the PowerPoint slides will also be posted on our website. So we have a link to give your booth a boost webinar at your own time, so you can definitely take a look at that and watch through that slide. And now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Emma, and she is actually going to talk about your booth packages.
Thank you, Virginia. So your booth package comes with a lot of great benefits to help you have a smooth and successful show. You'll get complimentary material handling, so your freight will be delivered to your booth at no extra cost, which Virginia will go more into material handling soon. And there will also be nightly vacuuming that's included to keep your space clean. We also offer free lead retrieval. You'll just need to go in and place your order, so don't forget to do that. We also have the Exhibitor webinar series that's been mentioned, which is a great resource. You can find all of our recorded webinars on the IBIE website. And finally, your company will be listed in the on-site guide and mobile app. Just make sure that you update your info in the Exhibitor Resource Center so attendees can easily find you. Now that we went over what is included in your booth, I just want to give a quick rundown of what's not included in your booth package. So there are a few important things to plan for. First, carpet is not included. The exhibit hall itself isn't carpeted, although the aisles will be. You're required to fully carpet or cover your entire booth space, even if you're not using all of it. Furniture isn't included either. So if you need tables, chairs, counters, or anything like that, you'll need to order those separately through Freeman. And lastly, while there is public Wi-Fi, it's not ideal for demos or high traffic needs. So if you need a dedicated internet, be sure to place an order ahead of time.
Perfect, thanks, Emma. So with material handling, like Emma talked about, it is complementary to the exhibitors at the IBIE show. So what material handling is basically getting your product, getting your equipment, getting your shipment, if you will, to your booth at the Las Vegas Convention Center. There are two ways to ship your equipment, either to the advanced warehouse or to show site. And we have the advanced warehouse opens on July 15th through September 3rd. And we also have the shipping labels here, so you don't have to worry about, copying this address here and writing it down. We do have links directly out to the shipping labels for both the advanced warehouse and to show site. We put a link in here too, so you can view the booth package overview in the material handling lead retrieval webinar as well. So we did have a great webinar on material handling. And the great thing about this show is that it's complimentary to you. And if you have Ingrid, correct me if I'm wrong in the statement when I say this, but if you have equipment that is over 5,000 pounds, you do have to ship to show site instead of to the warehouse. When you ship to the warehouse, keep in mind that your freight will be in your booth on your very first targeted move-in day. So there's an advantage of shipping to the warehouse versus show site, but just keep in mind that the pounds can't be sent to the advanced warehouse. You do have to go to show site. And then on the next slide, Freeman is the conference decorator, and they have a great site as well, which we'll get to in a second, of where they have a nice section on shipping and material handling information for you as well. So now we're going to go into the Exhibitor Resource Center, and this is your go-to spot, your go-to location for everything when it comes to IBIE that exhibitors need to know. So what I'm going to do at this time is take us out of the PowerPoint and actually go into the Exhibitor Resource Center so I can show you where the things are and how it looks instead of just doing the slides. But after I bring us back from being in the Exhibitor Resource Center, these slides afterwards represent what we went through. So you'll have this information after we post it up on our website. So give me 1 second as I stop sharing and pull up the website and reshare. All right, let's see here. Okay, so what I wanted to do as well is just show the website and where the tab at the top that says for exhibitors, if you scroll to the bottom and click on Exhibitor Resource Center, this is what we're referring to when we say ERC. So when I click on that, it takes me to a login page, and you will have to know your login details that were sent to you in an email to the primary contact. And when you come out here into your ERC, this is what it looks like. So up at the very top, it tells you how much you have completed of the 14 tasks that are due for you. As you can see, in my task, I have not done very well. I'm only at 7%. but we also have some checklists, a deadline in here for you as well. But first and foremost, I do want to talk about the complete online printed profile information over here because this deadline is fast approaching. You will need to complete your description, product categories, and your primary audiences. Those are the 3 things that will go into the on-site printed material. And again, that deadline is July 7th. And please, again, just make sure you're going in and updating that information. You will be getting bombarded with emails if you have not already to update that information, and you will continue to get bombarded with those emails until that information is completed. We just want everybody to make sure that they're hitting and completing that deadline. There's contact information out here. This is your account information when it comes to financials. If you need to make payments or receive an invoice, you need an invoice is where you can get that information. There are some things on my profile or my ERC here that you may not see in yours, and that's because I have an enhanced listing. So that's what this is here, the additional listing. So you can go and, I believe it's like videos and photos and things like that. So that will increase your enhanced listing. Another deadline that has passed, if you are a 400 square foot booth or more or larger, your booth diagram was to be submitted by June 16th. If you have not yet submitted, don't panic, it's okay, you still have time to do it. You will do that here this year. I believe in past years they were probably emailed to somebody, but this year you can upload your diagrams, you can tell us if you have a hanging sign or not. The rules and regulations are out here as well. So again, 400 square feet or more, we do need to see a very detailed rendering of your booth space. The COI or certificate of insurance is required by all exhibitors. So if you do not have insurance, we are working with a provider called Rain Protection, and that is what this purchase insurance is. So you can work with Rain Protection specifically to purchase insurance with them if you currently don't have it. So again, please make sure all exhibitors upload their COI for us. A nice feature is that Sodexo, who is the exclusive Las Vegas Convention Center catering company, they will be providing our exhibitors water at a discounted price. So as you can see, bottled water of 24 is $25 to $45. You can start purchasing that September 9th through the 13th and the 18th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, just click on the button here and it'll take you to further information. The EAC or exhibitor appointed contractor, if you are having someone come in and build your booth for you, this is what we call an EAC. So we would like to know who your EAC is so they are granted access onto the show floor by August 15th. So again, please make sure to fill out that EAC. As we've also mentioned throughout our presentation so far is about the webinar series. We do post them here also in the Exhibitor Resource Center for you. So again, it's a quick grab and a quick view to go and listen to our past presentations. Exhibitor registration dashboard. We're going to get into this a little bit more in the PowerPoint presentation, but this is where you will go and register for your badges, your complimentary and your discounted badges for your customers. The biggest one, the exhibitor service manual, where you need to go and order all the information that you need, carpet, furnishings, for example, anything that you may need to fulfill your booth space, electrical, internet, all of that good stuff is out here in that exhibitor service manual. Food sampling and booth inspections, we'll go through this as well in the PowerPoint presentation a little bit further and a little bit more detailed too, but again, this is where that information is housed. Housing, if you need to book your housing with OnPeak, who is the official housing company. Now I know you're probably getting spammed and bombarded from other companies that are saying they are the housing partner of IBIE, which is false. So please don't click on any links or talk to anybody else that is not OnPeak, as there are a lot of soliciting going on when it comes to housing. And then there's a freight survey. If you are bringing any machinery in, Freeman is requesting that you complete this survey. It just helps them understand and know what type of freight is coming in so they can be prepared and are aware. If you need interpreter services, we have an icon here where you can go and order interpreter services. Excuse me. And then we also have an in-person, we did an in-person exhibitor summit back in January, and these are the slides for that, so you can take and review those at your leisure. And we also have a marketing toolkit that is for your availability and free to use. It helps you market yourself at the IBIE show. So in case you don't have a marketing team or need some guidance and assistance, we have this marketing toolkit out here for you all to review and start using and promoting yourself at the IBIE show. Now there's a lot of vendors, as I mentioned, housing for one of them, that are reaching out and soliciting our exhibitors. But if you want to know who are the true IBIE Las Vegas vendors and suppliers, we have that list here for you. Excuse me. Rules and regulations. This is very, very, very important. I know it's a very long document, but it has all of the show rules and regulations. So the do's and the don'ts, if you will. So please make sure to read through the rules and regulations before coming to show site, so you are prepared and well aware of what to do and what not to do. The PAC Expo material handling transfer. This is if you're exhibiting at the PAC Expo in Vegas and also an IBIE. So if that doesn't if that does not apply to you, then don't worry about this one. And then we also have sponsorship and media opportunities. So if you are interested in any sponsorships and any media opportunities, you can shop now and look here and see how to boost your presence at the show through a sponsorship opportunity. And then we have our targeted move-in and move-out floor plans. Again, we'll go through this in the PowerPoint presentation a little bit more as well. So that is your ERC in a nutshell. I know that was quick and fast to go through, but again, it's a great tool and a great resource for you all to go out to. Here's the checklist as well over here on the right-hand side, sorry, the left-hand side under the home button. There's a checklist that will tell you in detail what is due and also what is past due if you have not checked the box that you have submitted this information. So please make sure to go through the checklist. It does have a view all or your to-do items, what you've completed. It's a very, very cool tool for you here. All right, I am going to stop sharing again and go back to the PowerPoint real quick. I'm so sorry about the coughing. All right. All right, here we go. I'm going to share. So again, as I mentioned, these slides that I went through, or that you'll see when I send these out to you and when you get to them, they're just everything that I went over on the ERC for you. So I'm going to breeze through these real quick, stumble across some that I said we would get back to. So the targeted move-in floor plan is a designated date and time of when you are allowed onto the show floor. So both North and West Hall have these, as you can see, move in and move out. If you are late, if you will, and cannot make your targeted move-in day, you will be fined a off-target fee. I say fined, but I guess that's the right word for it. So please make sure to review your move-in day and time. And if you cannot make that time, we ask that you work with Freeman and work within that information, within the Freeman service manual, there is information of how to talk to somebody about your targeted move-in and move-out floor plan. But again, very important that you know what your move-in and your move-out days are. And then installation of your booth must be completed by 4:30 on Saturday, September 13th. So keep that in mind, as well, as a lot of you are probably traveling in, that the booth must be set by 4:30. And now I'm going to hand it back over to Emma to talk about registration real quick.
Thank you, Virginia. So as she went over in the Exhibitor Resource Center, this is what you should see for registration in the center. So if you're not sure about how many complimentary badges you receive, here is the breakdown in the little chart to the right-hand side as well. Now I can start going over more details about registration. So all booth attendants must be bona fide employees and/or representatives of the exhibiting company and will be required to show identification when registering on site. Spouse badges are included as part of the exhibitor's allotment. You can order your badges by logging into your Exhibitor Resource Center. Badges will not be mailed. All badges must be picked up on site at the exhibitor registration desk in the north and west halls at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Badges can be picked up on site by the official booth contact or by any individual booth personnel. However, once a badge is printed, it will not be reprinted. Designated contacts and booth personnel may be asked to show an ID or a business card when picking up badges. For registration and discount codes for customers, you can incentivize your customers and prospects to meet you at IBIE. As an IBIE exhibitor, you can extend a 20% discount on exhibit hall passes to your customers. Your customers should use the URL provided to register themselves with this code. The discount link will take your customer directly into registration with this code automatically applied, and it's a great user experience too. The discount code is valid until September 17th. To access the discount code, please log into your Exhibitor Resource Center and scroll down to Exhibitor Registration Dashboard. Now for the wristbands and the pickup hours, if you need to get onto the show floor prior to registration opening, you'll receive a wristband from any of the security guards to the entrances of the exhibit hall. You must have your exhibitor badge when the show officially opens to gain access into the exhibit hall. Now I'm going to talk about the food sampling and booth inspections information. Sampling information can also be found in your Exhibitor Resource Center. Nevada health law requires that any exhibitor sampling or preparing food or beverages must have a hand washing and sanitation station at their booth. You're welcome to bring your own, but it must meet all local health requirements. So if you go that route, be sure to check with the Southern Nevada Health District or view their website to confirm it's compliant. If you prefer, you can also purchase a compliant station through Sodexo Live for convenience through the ERC, which Virginia will touch more on Sodexo Live next.
Perfect, thanks, Emma. Housing, Sodexo and in-booth F&B. As I mentioned, Sodexo is the exclusive catering company at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and all food and beverage must be purchased through Sodexo. Excuse me, and you can also purchase a 5-gallon water bubbler or cooler with Sodexo to have within your booth space. Remember, you are in Vegas. It is going to be hot and dry and humid. I shouldn't say humid. They have the dry heat. I have the humidity here in Virginia today. So please make sure that you are staying hydrated and that your employees are staying hydrated. As we talked about, that bottled water service that Sodexo is providing at that $25, $45 rate as well. So if you are bringing in additional food, you can work with Sodexo Live and they will work with you on a corkage fee. A corkage fee they will charge you for bringing in outside food and beverage. So you will work with Sodexo Live on that. Housing and priority points. IBIE assigns booth space based on the priority point system. We will be offering exhibitors 3 priority points towards your 2028 space selection if at least 75% of your registered staff booked and stayed at an official IBIE hotel. After the show, we will do an audit to confirm usage, and if your company has met that 75% threshold, we will give you 3 priority points toward the 2028 booth selection. You can earn points for the 2028 show in 2025 simply by reserving your exhibitor personnel hotel rooms through our housing block. If you have not already made your hotel reservations for IBIE, you can find the link within the Exhibitor Resource Center, as I talked about before. So some miscellaneous items that we're going to go into now is with regards to the cart service or POV, which is a personal owned vehicle. To receive this service, proceed directly to the facility and check in at the designated cart service check-in area for staging, check-in, processing paperwork, and determining if your vehicles are qualified for cart service. There will be signage posted to direct you. 2 people must be in the vehicle, 1 to accompany the product to the booth and 1 to remove and stay with the vehicle from within that area. This service is provided at no charge as part of the exhibitor booth fee. And as you can see here, we put some dates and times here for the cart service and then the sizes of the carts that you can use to carry your items to your booth. We also have corporate meeting rooms and a corporate meeting program that our exhibitors have access to. You can have the opportunity to book a meeting room at the Las Vegas Convention Center during the show through IBIE at no cost to you. This is a great way to hold a pre-show team meeting, a sales meeting, a customer event, or use it as a prep room. Any AV and food and beverage costs are the responsibility of the exhibitor, but the meeting room is provided complimentary. So there's a link here where you will go and fill out the information to request a meeting room. It'll ask you quite a few questions, so be prepared for that. But again, that is complimentary to our exhibitors. The shuttle schedule, it is not out just yet, so stay tuned. More information is coming, but we wanted to provide you the link of where it will be housed on our website. But yes, there will be shuttle buses to take you to and from the IBIE hotels. The marketing toolkit, as we talked about as well, is also located in the ERC. You can review the webinar that I talked about to give your booth a boost. So please, again, make sure to review that webinar to help you promote yourself at the IBIE show. Schedule at a glance is out on our website as well, so check out some of our major timeframes for events. We put the link here for you, and it's set done by day. So you can go in and see what is taking place on each of the show days and or education days. We also have a great FAQ out here for you as well, finding essential information and guidance to ensure your expo experience rises to the occasion. We want you to have a successful show. And again, we want you to ask those questions too. We don't want you to get to show site and be scrambling and trying to find something that you or we could have informed you on previously. So again, please make sure to look over the FAQs. As Emma talked about with your booth package, you do get a complimentary lead retrieval device. However, you do have to go and order it. So within the ERC was the link to registration, and within that registration, there is a tab here called Order Free Lead Retrieval. This is where you will go to order the lead retrieval and use the voucher code Baker25Comp. You have 3 choices. You have the Swap mobile app, you have the handheld badge scanner, and you have the tablet to pick from. But again, you still have to go out and order it. We're not going to just give it to you and leave it at your booth for you. You will have to order it through Merritt's, our registration company. Now we're going to go into some of our exhibitor tips. And again, these are things that we've talked about, but just highlighting again once more for you. We have the Freeman advance order deadline. So saving money, as we all like to do, make sure you have your orders into Freeman by August 15th. Pay attention to those shipping deadlines that I talked about for advanced warehouse and to show site. Order labor on straight time. Obviously, that seems you don't want to do double time. So obviously make sure you do that on straight time. Make sure that your carrier arrives on your targeted move-in day, as we have here a link to that targeted floor plan for you. And then obviously take advantage of your booth package that Emma spoke about earlier. Some on-site tips: if you've never been to an IBIE show, pack your comfortable shoes, as that, yes, is a bullet point in here. So pick up your badge because they are not being mailed. First thing, go to your booth, check everything, check that you have everything, make sure everything has arrived. And with saying that, make sure that you do bring your shipping labels, because those will be super helpful if there is not a package in your booth. You can obtain empty stickers, so Freeman will hold your empty box from the exhibitor service desk. Check in at the exhibitor. If labor is ordered, check in with the Freeman exhibitor service desk as well for that. Wear the comfortable shoes like I mentioned. Look for your on-site concierge team. We will be there. The IBIE team, Freeman, and the Las Vegas Convention Center utilities will all be on show site, walk on the show floor. So if you need assistance, just flag one of us down and we will be happy to help. And then the union jurisdictions. It's always helpful to have a good understanding of the prevailing union jurisdictions and rules when you exhibit at a trade show. Full-time employees of exhibiting companies may set up their own exhibits without assistance from the local union. However, any labor services that may be required beyond what your regular full-time employees can provide must be rendered by union personnel and can be ordered in advance through Freeman. Proof of full-time employment status may be requested by the union steward of any personnel working in your booth. If exhibitors intend to use an EAC or an exhibitor-appointed contractor to install or dismantle their booth, the exhibitor must register their EAC no later than August 15th. And we went over that in the ERC. There's an ERC. Within there is that EAC form to fill out. Exhibitors are allowed to hand carry their own materials into the exhibit facility. However, the use of rental dollies, flat trucks, and other mechanical equipment is not permitted. So you must be able to hand carry it in. Only full-time employees of the exhibiting company are allowed to hand carry items. Unloading and reloading at the dock is handled exclusively by Freeman. New this year is Las Vegas Convention Center has asked that the following are not allowed on the show floor, and that's segways, manual scooters, electric scooters, skateboards, and other personal mobility devices. Follow our exhibitor communications. Our newsletters are the best way to stay on top of critical dates and important actions exhibitors need to manage in preparation for the show. We've had 3 newsletters distributed to date. If you haven't received them, please email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com to make sure that you are receiving them and that you do receive them in the future. From this point forward, you should expect to receive a newsletter on a monthly basis. And a pro tip, you have to open them to read them. So we do get a lot of people that do not read our emails because I'm sure you're constantly bombarded, but we do highly recommend that you read the newsletters. And as we've mentioned, the webinars are all recorded and posted on our website. The mobile app and attendee exhibitor networking. New this year, IBIE's mobile app will have the capabilities for exhibitors to set meetings with attendees. And we are in the process of working with our mobile app vendor, and more information will be shared in the near future of our mobile app. The Exhibitor Summit that was held on January 22nd, it had we talked about some show features, the material handling, sponsorships, the logistics, and that presentation is also out on the ERC if you are interested and want to learn what was talked about at the Exhibitor Summit. And that is our presentation for today. We did that in a good record of 40 minutes. So now we have plenty of time for your questions. And that's what this webinar is for, to get your questions answered, because I'm sure there are a lot out there. So please put your questions in the Q&A, and then Alyssa and Emma and I will answer them to the best of our knowledge. So Alyssa, I'm going to ask to see if you have any questions that we can answer for people.
Yeah, we did get quite a few questions in. So I will read it off and then we'll go through all the answers. First, we have, how do we obtain the additional staff badges? Virginia, are you able to go to the ERC and go to the exhibitor registration widget so we can kind of walk through that? So if we click on register now, you'll be able to see your allotted amount of registrations for your exhibitors. And then if you go over and above that amount, you basically just keep adding as many people as you would like to attend, and each person is an additional $100. So you can see there, you just click on that exhibitor badge registration and add as many personnel as you would like to attend. All right, next question. I have to purchase the water if I want to have water bottles only for my booth staff, ? Or am I allowed to bring in my own? So again, Sodexo does not allow you to bring in your own bottled water for your booth staff. You would need to go to this on-site pickup location to purchase the cases of bottled water through Sodexo. And if you have more questions on that, feel free to email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com. Will we be sharing the call recording to refer to later? Yes, we will be. You'll be able to find it in the ERC. We'll link it right here where it says Education Webinar Series. You can also find it at bakingexpo.com under Resources. There you go. And then under Exhibitor Resources, and then you can click on Resources and Webinars, and it'll take you right there. Next one, can you please repeat who we need to contact about changing move-in, move-out dates? So that will go directly through Freeman. I think Virginia will be able to walk through that with us. You will be able to find that through the Exhibitor Services Manual. You can go to Freeman's website, and there's a little block that says Change Target Move In. So if we scroll down a little bit and then to the right, you'll be able to find that. And you'll click on this. It's a form that you'll fill out, and it will be sent directly to Freeman, and then they will be able to assist you. All right, next question. On the bullet that says, go to your booth and check everything has arrived, when is the earliest we can go to our booth? So we have installation days, and that is Wednesday, September 10th through Saturday, September 13th, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. each day. Is cart service only available in certain areas around the convention center? For instance, can we only use certain doors for this? Ingrid, are you able to jump in here? And if you have more information on this.
Yes, cart service is not based on the doors. Cart service is for your privately owned vehicle. I think what the question is referring to is what Virginia mentioned earlier, is if you can hand carry your boxes in, that would be allowed. If you are driving a vehicle and you're trying to drop off stuff at the doors, security is not going to let you drive up to a door and unload at the entrances. You would have to follow the cart service, it's called in the Freeman Exhibitor Services Manual. So you have to follow those instructions if you have a vehicle. So I'm hoping that I answer the person's question, but I think it's two different things that they asked about doors specifically, but that's only if you are hand carrying something through the doors. You can't pull up and then bring it in.
Great, thank you. Our next question, can exhibitors and attendees set up meetings in the mobile app now, or when does that open up? I would look out for more information coming from IBIE within the next month or so. We still are waiting to finalize some options and availability for you, and we'll be able to send out some how-to guides and really be able to get you guys some good information on how to update your mobile app. So just keep an eye out. Hello, I would like to know if it is possible to cook waffles on the stand with a waffle iron. If so, are there any administrative formalities involved? Ingrid, can you pull up the ERC and then take us to our food sampling widget, please?
1 second.
So this widget goes through all information and details that will be needed if you plan to sample food, and you'll have to contact Sodexo and get approvals through them as well. So there's a lot of different things that you need to clarify before we can get that approval, and that will all go through Sodexo. So I suggest going to the ERC and reviewing all of these details. Next question, is there someone to inform, again, Sodexo, regarding those samples? Are there food booths for staff at the expo to take lunch or break, and do we have to order through catering? Ingrid, can you jump in here as well?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Okay, is there going to be food booths available for staff at the expo to be able to purchase lunch, or will everything need to go through the catering team?
No, a great question. We will have concessions open. So we'll have concessions open in the North Halls as well as the West Hall, and we'll have all of those details with the locations and the times that the restaurants will be open, the concessions will be open in the mobile app. So more to come on that, but great question.
Thank you. Next up, will the primary contact in the online profile section in the ERC be printed/shown? So Ingrid, can you scroll up to our printed profile section? So this right here, you can click on description, and that will show what will be printed and shown on the mobile app and online. So this should be your company information, not the personal primary contact in here. It will give you a preview of what will be printed. It's marked in red, and it is all the company information. Can we bring soft drinks to serve visitors at our stand and coffee? That is not available. You have to get everything through Sodexo if you plan to serve drinks, coffee, sodas, anything at your booth. That will all need to go through Sodexo. And our last question, can you show the West Hall taxi, shuttles, and Uber drop-off locations?
Yep. Let me get there again. Sorry, don't get seasick looking at this.
No problem.
All right, and here we go. So
Virginia, I'm going to help here. So in North, where you have your cursor, that's where the taxi drop-offs will be in North, right outside. And then right below where the number 1 is will be the Uber Lyft location. And then in West Hall, in the middle, no, go down, Virginia. Go down and open white spot in the middle of the here. That's taxi drop-off. And then upper at the back where you were, Virginia, that's the Uber Lyft location in the back.
Awesome. We did get 2 more questions come in. Can you clarify regarding badges for spouses? I might need to contact you for a little bit more information regarding your question, so we can email you after this webinar if that is helpful. And one additional question, we can bring our own food for sampling, correct? That is correct, but again, you do need to go to the widget in the ERC regarding food sampling and booth inspections and get all those details cleared through Sodexo as well. I think that wraps all the questions up. Thank you everyone for attending today. If you have any questions, email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com, and this recording will be posted online within the next few weeks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.